Can multicultural education and culturally relevant pedagogy be used to increase student interest in social studies? Maya Angelou once wrote, "The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom." What are these things that are longed for still? Why does the cage bird sing of freedom? Of course, we know that Maya Angelou was using this as a metaphor of African Americans and whites during the Civil Rights era. However, this poem is relevant to education today. Schools all across America are richly diverse. There are students of different ethnicities, cultures, and beliefs. However, there is still a longing among the students. Abreu and Elbers state that the diversity of cultural backgrounds of students and parents leads to new transitions, enables new forms of participation, and demands the creation of new concepts, values, and practices. What is this longing? What is this freedom that demands creation of new concepts, values, and practices? This longing in the form of education can be summed up in one word: multiculturalism. The Glossary of Education Reform defines multicultural education as any form of education or teaching that incorporates the histories, texts, values, beliefs, and perspectives of people from different cultural backgrounds. James and Cherry Banks take this concept of multicultural education one step further. They state that multicultural education consists of 5 dimensions: content integration, the knowledge construction process, prejudice reduction, an equity pedagogy, and an empowering school culture and social structure. To answer the question, can multicultural education and culturally relevant pedagogy be used to increase student interest in social studies, we must first understand one dimension of Banks' multicultural education: the concept of equity pedagogy. Banks defines equity pedagogy as teaching strategies and classroom environments that help students from diverse, racial, ethnic, and cultural groups attain the knowledge, skills, and attitudes needed to function effectively within, and help create and perpetuate a just, humane, and democratic society. Allman, Knighton, and Brophy also state that pedagogical approaches influence students' attitudes about the content, their desire to learn about it, what they learn, and their retention level, and the impact on their lives. Equity pedagogy takes the students and dynamically includes them in the construction and production of knowledge. Students are able to make connections and relate ideas and perspectives and make judgments and evaluations. Instead of looking for the single answer to a problem, students are encouraged to generate multiple solutions and perspectives. Teachers are challenged to be facilitators in the learning process. Another dimension to Banks' view of multicultural education is school culture and social structure. Banks and Banks describe the school culture and social structure as powerful determinants of how students learn to perceive themselves. These factors influence the social interactions that take place between students and teachers and among students, both inside and outside the classroom. Allman, Knighton, and Brophy take this dimension a step further. They write that establishing and maintaining the classroom as a collaborative learning community provides an ideal context for motivating all students to learn and for developing attitudes, beliefs, and dispositions to action that reflect the goals of preparing students for citizenship in a diverse and democratic society. Approaches to teaching that contribute to the development of the classroom community and participation by all members include modeling and explaining key attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. Banks further expands on this dimension by asserting that there is a hidden curriculum which is revealed in this aspect of equity pedagogy. Factors in the hidden curriculum include significant adult-student interactions, physical arrangement of space in a classroom, and peer relationships. The third dimension is knowledge construction. Banks affirms that knowledge construction takes place when teachers enable students to identify and interrogate the positionality of knowers and to construct their own interpretation of reality. The fourth dimension involves prejudice reduction. This focuses on helping students to develop more positive racial, gender, and ethnic attitudes. The last dimension consists of content integration and assessment. Banks maintains that equity pedagogy is student-focused. It incorporates issues, concepts, principles, and problems that are real and meaningful to students. Teachers who embrace equity pedagogy assume that all students can learn. They work to develop student potential and to create a classroom environment that is encouraging and filled with opportunities for success. Abreu and Elbers believe that creativity and development of new concepts, values, and practices build upon those that already exist. However, they have to be adapted to allow people to cope with the new circumstances. How does this relate to integrating interests, concepts, and values into social studies? The first factor to look at is to find out what is the purpose of social studies. Based on Gibson's findings, the purpose of social studies is described as providing opportunities for students to develop the attitudes, skills, and knowledge that will enable them to become engaged, active, informed, and responsible citizens who are aware of their capacity to affect change in their communities, society, and the world. The students should be involved in experiences which give them opportunities to learn and acquire skills of active and responsible citizenship, and the capacity to inquire, make reasoned and informed judgments, and arrive at decisions for the public good. A study completed by Allman, Brophy, and Knighton concluded that expanding the social studies curriculum to include other universals enhances the motivational value of content's worth and application to students' lives, thus promoting meaningfulness. Because the content is so much a part of students' daily lives, all members of the class can participate in the lessons, including classroom conversations and instructional activities, as well as homework assignments. It establishes a forum for the natural incorporation of diversity and serves as one social studies model for inviting all children to participate and meet with success. So the vital point for social studies integration with content is ensuring that teachers have an understanding of the meaning of social studies and not just repeating the content. This can be done by paying attention to how learners comprehend and engage in the learning experience. Engaging learners in experiencing multiculturalism in social studies is by using texts that they can relate to their own environment. It is important that children understand cultures that are different from their own. Equity pedagogy uses text or literature to help the learners understand varying cultures. Students are able to make a connection and relate them to their understanding and create a sense of empathy. Number the Stars by Lois Lowry is a book about a 10-year-old girl named Anne-Marie. This young girl discovers bravery by hiding and protecting her Jewish friend Ellen from the Nazis. Learners will be able to see how the Jewish people were discriminated against, the effects of discrimination, and how to face fear in the shadow of adversity. Teachers can integrate the text when studying World War II and Nazi Germany. Students can explore the geography of Europe. Teachers can lead students to investigate the roles of Sweden and Denmark in World War II and the Holocaust. Another book that can be used to culturally integrate text is Meet Addie, an American Girl by Connie Porter. Addie is a young girl whose family is oppressed by slavery during the Civil War. Her father and brother have been sold to another owner. Addie and her mother escape, only to find out that freedom was what they dreamed it to be. Learners will see how slavery affects people, the Civil War, and the Underground Railroad. Teachers can also use the book to connect the text to text, text to the reader, and text to the world. When integrating text or literature into curriculum, teachers can lead students into having a bigger view and understanding of cultures. It also provides the learner knowledge or information. Integrating can also spark the students' inquiry skills. Inquiry skills can lead to understanding different perspectives and brightening the learner's experience. Integrating text or literature isn't the only method to spark interest in multicultural education and social studies. Teachers must also use strategies to engage the students and keep them focused. One strategy that can be used for integrating lessons is multicultural thematic units. Using thematic units is a great way to integrate multicultural literature throughout the curriculum. Thematic units can also aid students into making connections between other content areas such as ELA. An example of this is seen with Pat Morrow's book, Yum, Que Rico, America's Sproutings. Teachers can use the text to teach a theme about food in America. Topics could range from cultural traditions of food to growing and harvesting food. Thematic units could also create a project-based learning that can span all of the subject areas. Thematic units can involve creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, and communication. Another strategy that could be incorporated for integration into lessons is the 3-2-1 strategy. This strategy helps students to assemble a response for an activity, text, or even video. It allows teachers to check for understanding and measure how engaged the learner is into the lesson. The procedure for 3-2-1 is answering a prompt. The students will write on an exit ticket, in their journal, or on a sheet of paper these questions. 3 things that were learned from the lesson or text, 2 questions they still have, 1 aspect of the class or text that they enjoyed, or they can create 1 quiz question and answer. In conclusion, we revisit the question, can multicultural education and culturally relevant pedagogy be used to increase students' interest in social studies? The answer is yes. Based on research, text and literature integration, and integration strategies, multiculturalism and social studies can spark interest in student learning. The students can be engaged, and the integration can create inquiry-based learning. Through Banks' 5 dimensions of inquiry pedagogy, teachers and students will gain the knowledge and skills needed to enable them to create a society that is more caring and empathetic.